In this video, we're talking about dunking on NBA 2K26 and everything you need to know about dunking on people. We'll be going over attributes, badges, animations, controls, and how to overall just be more successful at dunking on people and getting contact dunks. Before we get into it, be sure to drop a like on the video as it definitely helps me out. Also, we're grinding for 400k subscribers. I know I can hit it, I just have to lock in. So help me out by pressing that sub button. Let's go ahead and get into dunking on NBA 2K26.
If you aren't already, don't forget to follow Dman UNT 2014 on Twitter.
So let's go ahead and start at the very beginning. We're going to start in the MyPlayer Builder. NBA 2K has a bunch of dunk packages. We already know that. Later in the video, we'll go over which ones you should be using and which ones you should avoid. But if you want to just dunk, get on that rim, they have a bunch of dunk packages you can use. And your driving dunk doesn't even have to be that high. But I have the most fun when I'm dunking on people. And so I want y'all to dunk on people. In order to do that, you need to have the contact dunks. The contact dunks will allow you to activate the dunk meter and try to catch a body. The least expensive contact dunk is the small contact dunks off 2. You need an 86 driving dunk and a 75 vertical, but you also need to be under 6'5". For most people, they're going for the pro contact dunks off 2, where you need an 87 driving dunk and a 75 vertical. You also have your pro contact dunks off 1, where you need an 89 driving dunk and a 78 vertical, and also the elite contact dunks off 1, where you need a 99 driving dunk and 90 vertical. So D-Man, which dunk packages are the best? Which one should I go for? Honestly, most guards go for the pro contact dunks off 2, where all you need is an 87 driving dunk and a 75 vertical. But you will also find a bunch of people, especially if they're on bigger builds, go for the pro contact dunks off 1 because they'll get this dunk package by default. Why would they get it by default? Mainly because badges run NBA 2K. If you want to dunk better on NBA 2K, Posterizer is the most essential badge you can have. I mean, it tells you right here, the higher your Posterizer tier is, the more likely you are to throwing down a dunk on your defender. But don't confuse that with contact dunks. Posterizer just helps you dunk when there are people in the paint. So even if you can't get contact dunks, it's still worth it to have Posterizer. Now we all know you have multiple tiers. You have bronze, silver, gold, Hall of Fame, and legend. Now, which Posterizer is good for you? Once again, if you're a guard and you just want to get on that rim, bronze and silver works out perfectly. If you want to go higher, you can use cap breakers, but honestly, bronze and silver to get on that rim is fine. Now, if you want to dunk on people at a more consistent rate, you're going to have to go higher. Get some of those better dunk packages. So I've been using gold, Hall of Fame, and legend on NBA 2K26. Legend is the most expensive badge for dunking, and in my opinion, it's not even worth it like that, man. So I know a bunch of slashers want to go 99 driving dunk and 90 vertical, or use their cap breakers on dunking to get that legend Posterizer badge, to get that 99 overall dunk package. But when I tell you, you'll be able to do the same thing with gold, you just have to trust me, bro. So instead of going 99 driving dunk and 90 vert, you can use those attribute points somewhere else since it's so expensive. If anything, max out at 96 because Hall of Fame works out really well too. I enjoy Hall of Fame Posterizer. So if you really want to dunk on people, Hall of Fame is just fine too. There hasn't been a time where I was using Legend and I said to myself, man, I'm glad I had Legend Posterizer right there. Most of the dunks you can get them with Gold Posterizer or Hall of Fame Posterizer. Not only that, but you can honestly just do what I did. I think it's important that you utilize the badge perks because they're really clutch on NBA 2K26. Once again, on NBA 2K25, we were used to the Max Plus 1. But now we have Max Plus 1 and Max Plus 2. And let me tell you, the difference is night and day. So let's say you're trying to dunk on people, man. You have the contact dunk packages and all that. I could take my gold Posterizer and make it legend. Or I could take my gold Posterizer, make it Hall of Fame. I know a lot of people would say, well, which one feels better? 99 driving dunk with legend Posterizer or 93 driving dunk with legend Posterizer? From my experience, it's all the same. So go ahead and save your attribute points, have a 93 driving dunk, and have that gold or Hall of Fame Posterizer. Those badges worked out the best for me. So now that we talked about the stats and the badges, let's go over which dunk packages are the best on NBA 2K26. For me, a dunk package is good when it's safe and you're not doing too much with the basketball. Yeah, they don't look as cool, but you're also not going to get blocked. So looking at the 2-foot moving dunks, I honestly don't like any 2-foot moving dunks because they slow you down so much. Yet some of them seem powerful, but you don't want to give people the chance to block you. So when it comes to the 2-foot moving dunks, if it's not a contact dunk, don't even look at it, bruh. Just keep it moving. Moving on to the 1-foot moving dunks, we have the quick drops off one. The quick drops off one is a really good dunk package. It's nice and fast, 2 hands for safety. All you need is an 80 driving dunk and a 60 vertical, so it's relatively cheap also. So if you're one of the point guards that like to 3-point hunt, don't think you'll never be able to get on that rim, man. They have dunk packages that are super cheap, and the quick drops off one is a really cheap one that's insanely good. I also like to use the baseline reverses off one because when I play 5, sometimes I cut back door, and instead of just going right up for the dunk, I go in for the reverse. I also like the side clutches off one. This activates in traffic a lot and it doesn't really get blocked, but the problem is it's really expensive. You need 92 driving dunk and a 75 vertical. Of course, I also had a pro contact dunks equipped here because I'm trying to dunk on people. But other than that, these are the dunks that I use when it comes to 1-foot moving dunks. Once again, they're not cool, bro. It's not a windmill. It's not a flashy tomahawk. Look, I'm trying to score the ball, not get blocked. And when you got to bring it down and around town like a goddamn SpongeBob episode, you're increasing your chances of getting blocked, to be real. And so that's why these are the only ones I use. Now, the standard dunks are tricky because they don't activate as much as they did last year, but they're still pretty good to have on your build if you're at least 6'5". So when it comes to the regular standard dunks, I like the 2-hand under basket regular. For some reason, the 1-hand under basket regular is troll. So if you're at least 6'5" and you have a 40 standing dunk, you might as well equip the 2-hand under basket regular because now you're able to cut back door, get on that rim. It's an easy 2 points. I also like the elite basket rim pulls. You can go up pretty quickly and from far away also. All you need is a 70 standing dunk and be at least 6'5". A lot of taller builds should probably have this dunk package. I use cap breakers on my standing dunk to get it to 81. And let me tell you, bro, it really is a game changer. On NBA 2K25, you can get away with the 40 to 45 standing dunk. But now I just like being able to go up every single time. It's like they nerfed the standing dunks a little bit in NBA 2K26. You can still activate them a lot, but they don't activate as much as they did last year. And so now that I tested 81 standing dunk and the dunk meter on that, which we'll get into later, I really like the elite basket rim pulls and the 2-hand under basket athletic. Now the thing with this is, it's really expensive. You need an 80 standing dunk, which I believe most 4s and 5s will have, but just keep in mind, it's expensive. Not only that, but this is where Posterizer comes into play. The higher your Posterizer, the more likely you are to go for these standing dunks. Once again, Posterizer isn't just for contact dunks, it's for just going up when people are around you. So you always want to have some type of Posterizer on if you're trying to get on that rim. Now we have the signature dunks because sometimes you can't unlock dunk packages, so you just have these player dunk packages. Some of them are actually really good and really cheap. Some of them I stay away from, mainly because they're doing too much. So I'm going to go through some of these really quickly and tell you which ones are the best. Giannis is a good simple dunk package, especially for the taller builds, and it's not that expensive. DeMar DeRozan is a good dunk package to have. All you need is a 73 driving dunk and a 55 vertical. SGA has some nice and simple off-one dunks in his dunk package. I definitely recommend it. Trey Lyles is super cheap, doesn't cost that much at all, and he has some quick drops in there. So you should definitely equip this one if you're just trying to get on the rim. If you have a pretty high driving dunk and you cut back door a lot like I do, Kobe Bryant is definitely a must-have. Manu is really good just because this is a dunk package they give you just for breathing. All you need is a 50 driving dunk and a 35 vertical, and you'll be able to dunk something. The LeBron James dunk package is super hit or miss. He has some really good dunks in there. There's some dunks in here that let you jump from the free throw line. You get to take off from far off one, by the way, so you're not really slowing down for that 2-foot gather. But there are also some dunks where he cocks it all the way back to his feet and whatnot. And so I don't really like those, but it's honestly up to you. I enjoy the LeBron James dunk package. Once again, we have Klay Thompson, which is another one they give you just for breathing and is really good. So if you have a 55 driving dunk and a 35 vertical, you might as well, right? Surprisingly, Devin Booker has a really good dunk package. All you need is a 75 driving dunk and a 60 vertical. He essentially has all the quick drops, which is once again crucial on NBA 2K26. The quick drops are nice and simple, and they rarely get blocked. CJ McCollum is another good cheap one to have. All you need is a 40 driving dunk and be shorter than 6'10", and you'll be able to get on the rim. Once again, they give you this dunk package for breathing. If you have any driving dunk, go ahead and throw this on. For the last two, I really like Obi Toppin and Russell Westbrook. I know Obi Toppin goes against everything I just said, but I mean, they put an East Bay in the game, and you can do this in the Pro-Am and in the rec. This isn't a part dunk package, so I had to use it, and the East Bay actually works. This is a fire dunk package, bro, really fire. He is doing a lot though. So if you had to pick a dunk package where you're doing a lot, probably too much, Obi Toppin would be the one. And I also like Russell Westbrook. Really quick takeoff. The only thing is, it's really expensive. You need 93 driving dunk and 80 vertical. But if you're trying to get those contact dunks, if you have gold posterizer, you have the Russell Westbrook dunk package. Now, before we get into how to actually dunk on people and when to go for contact dunks, we need to take a look at the HUD, because we know that the contact dunks have a meter, and I'm not gonna lie to you, some of these meters are better than the others. I'm not even trolling. So first off, come down to the size of the meter, and I want it to be as big as possible. I don't know if it's because it's easier to tell or if it's because I'm getting old. Probably a combination of both. So for my size, I went large. For my graphic, and y'all are going to think I'm trolling, but you want to use either horn or maybe shooting star. For some reason, the meter is always big when you use horn or shooting star. It's easier to lock in on that green window. I don't know if that's an accident or not, but horn and shooting star are the way to go. You didn't hear that from me though. So how do we actually dunk on people? Well, it's different from NBA 2K25. On NBA 2K26, all you have to do is run towards the basket and press down on the right stick to activate the dunk meter. After that, you release the right stick when it's in the green window. Now, the green window will shift depending on a bunch of factors: how open you are, the stats of your defender, your driving dunk stats. It depends on weight, strength. All of this matters in NBA 2K26. If you're stronger, and of course you have better driving dunk, and they have low interior or block, you're going to get a bigger green window. But there are ways to activate this bigger green window more consistently. One thing I want to get out the way off rip is stamina. If you have higher stamina, the chances of you throwing down a dunk on a defender increases significantly. So yeah, maybe you do invest in a badge like handles for days. The main way to dunk on somebody though is positioning. NBA 2K26 is all about how you're positioned and how your defender is positioned. If your defender is on your hip to your side, you're going to get a big green window. If they try to rotate over late, you're going to get a big green window. If your defender is inside the restricted area, I'm talking about right under the net in the dead zone, oh, they don't even have a chance to affect your dunk, bro. You're going to get a big green window and you're going to body somebody. What you don't want to do is to randomly go for poster dunks. But when it comes to getting contact dunks, that's pretty much the gist of it. Have people on your side or on your hip and find somebody in the dead zone. Once again, the dead zone is the area right under the net. If you find somebody that out of position, you're going to be able to dunk on them with the dunk meter. I'm talking about contact dunk, put them on the ground. Now, let's say you don't have contact dunks. Well, I got you. We can go over the regular dunks also. Once you get downhill, move the right stick up towards the basket, and you'll be able to do a two-hand safety dunk. If you move your right stick to the right, you'll do a right-hand dunk. If you move your right stick to the left, you'll do a left-hand dunk. And I'm teaching you how to use the right stick mainly because I want you to have full control over the dunks you do. Of course, you can just run in and press square, but when you press square, it's super random. You may get a safe dunk, you may get a flashy dunk, you may get a left-hand dunk when somebody is on your left side. So I don't really recommend you using square. I want you to have full control when you're going in for these dunks. So once again, up on the right stick will give you a safe dunk. Right on the right stick will give you a right-hand dunk. Left on the right stick will give you a left-hand dunk. And if you go down on the right stick, that's how you activate the dunk meter to try to dunk on somebody. Now, I mentioned earlier that I love to cut back door and go in for the reverse dunk because they don't get blocked that often. I'm going to teach you how to do it now. If I'm cutting backdoor from the left side, all you have to do is point the right stick away from the basket. So if you're driving from the left, move the right stick to the left. If you're driving from the right side of the court across the baseline, move the right stick to the right, and you'll be able to do that reverse dunk. Once again, this is something nice to have in your bag because a lot of people don't expect it. And once again, the reverse dunk is a great way to avoid getting blocked. So there's 2 more things I want to talk about in this video in order to boost your dunking. First off, literally boost. You want to buy dunk boost whenever you can, and I'll say whenever you can because they do get pretty expensive and it does add up. But buying that dunk boost would definitely help out. Also, your takeover. Your takeover is really important. Now, let me tell you, this might get patched, so I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to recommend it, but at the same time, I kind of have to. So when it comes to takeover, of course, if you want to dunk more, a lot of people think poster machine. And poster machine is cool if and only if you can't get blur. For some reason, when you activate blur on the court, it's literally impossible to miss a dunk. I don't think it's supposed to be like that, but if you have drive and dunk, especially if you can get contact dunks and you put on blur, oh, you're about to have the time of your life. The entire meter is the green window. Once again, I didn't want to talk about it because somebody would find this video later down the road and blur would be patched and they'll be like, oh man, you're not telling the truth. Nah, you got to believe me. You see the footage. You see it. So as of September 18th, if you want to dunk on people and blur is available to you as a takeover, use blur. You get the speed boost and the dunking boost. The takeover is OD. Of course, there's the poster machine takeover, which a lot of us would probably default to once blur gets patched, if it gets patched. But poster machine is okay too. It kind of extends the green window, just not as much as blur. I think blur is what poster machine is supposed to be. So that's how you dunk on people on NBA 2K26. It all comes down to your animations, your attributes, your badges, positioning, and your takeover. As always, man, if people have questions in the comments, be sure to help them out. I should read comments more, but the 2K community is toxic, man. I'm protecting my peace. So I hope this video was able to help somebody out. If it did, be sure to drop a like on the video. Also subscribe. We're pushing out 2K content heavy over here. You all be easy and take care. Peace.